Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Jem and I have another pick a card reading for you guys. This one's all about what your ancestors, angels, guides are trying to tell you. What do they want you to know at this time? I had a really strong feeling about doing this video today because I just felt like they were really trying to come through at this time. I felt like really connected and I felt like they're trying to connect to all of us at this time. I feel like a lot of us are going through some pretty intense stuff. We just had a full moon. There's a lot going on, and so I feel like it's the perfect time to put this video out, and I feel really strong message behind it, so hopefully it helps you guys out. If you're new to pick a card readings, I'm going to give you a quick little rundown of how it works. So basically, this is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, this is pile number 3, this is pile number 4, this is pile number 5, and this is pile number 6. So take a moment to find out which pile you're drawn to the most. You can pause the video if you'd like, and if you're having trouble with it, just try closing your eyes and opening them, and whichever first card that you are drawn to, go with that card. And then once you're done picking your card, or maybe there's 2 or 3 that call out to you, I'll have timestamps linked in the description box and also in the comment box down below for you guys to skip ahead to your specific reading. But without further ado, let's hop right into it, starting now. All right, so pile number 1, let's find out what your guides, angels, that's my laundry machine, are trying to tell you at this time. We'll take that as a sign, I guess. All right, pile number 1. So we have a lot of fire energy in this pile. We start off with the King of Wands here, and we also have Passion of the Lion Heart with Fire Agate as your crystal. So there's a lot of fire energy happening here. There might be something that you're really passionate about. There might be something really like just high energy going on in the universe right now for you. It can also mean that maybe the energy is really high. It can also mean that you might have gone through arguments. There might be somebody who you recently had some kind of like fight or argument with, and you need to try and work on things and work them out, because we do have the 8 of Pentacles right here, which talks about working on things. So maybe there's something in yourself that you need to fix, a relationship with a person that you need to mend and fix in order to better work with each other. I think that you also need to, at this time, focus on yourself and heal yourself, because there might be something going on that you need to heal in yourself. When we have the Hermit card as well, it's talking about going within. So there's things inside that maybe you need to fix, and so maybe you need to meditate at this time, release old energies, release stuff that doesn't work for you anymore in order for you to move forward, because I feel like you're really wanting to move forward. You're really wanting to push a lot of energy right now, but there might be something that's bothering you guys. There might be something that's kind of like hidden in the background right now, or something that recently happened that it might be bothering you to the point where you can't really do your work. You can't really focus on you. And right now you need to go within and focus on you, but focus on you in the sense that you need to let go of this old energy. You need to work through this old energy. Work with, maybe it's a relationship that you guys have. Maybe it's some sort of person in your life that maybe you had this kind of like more passionate, fiery kind of like talk with them. That could either be in an anger way or a very romantic way, and maybe it just, you need to work on things though. So there's something you need to work on. It could even be maybe even anger with yourself. It could be arguments with yourself and being too hard on yourself, and you need to work on things. You need to fix things in some kind of manner, because we also have the Mother Earth card. You are called upon to help with environmentalism. And in that sense, I feel like there's outer things that you need to fix and work on. So that could either be relationships or something else in your outer world that you need to fix on, but within, because it comes from within. So you need to fix it on the outside and on the inside. And I feel like fixing it on the inside will help fix it on the outside, if that makes sense. It's something that you might need to work on internally and let some anger go, let some feelings go, and kind of just have like I'm just picturing a waterfall right now, and just like maybe go take a shower and just have this energy just like drain out of you and wash out of you. But somehow in fixing yourself with this and letting all this anger go, it will fix your outer world. It will fix everything going on outside of you. So maybe if you run into any sort of problems, you feel like things are going wrong right now in life, I feel like the way to fix them is fixing them internally and letting this anger go, letting it wash away. Don't hold on to it, because the more we hold on to certain emotions, it'll show up in your outer world and continue to show up in your outer world until you deal with them on the inside. And so maybe you need to reconcile a certain relationship, and maybe you need to reconcile and forgive internally, and then approach this person or this situation from a new, more enlightened, higher vibration perspective. Then we also have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? So get into the position where you need to forgive yourself, forgive other people, come from a place of like kind of like divine feminine. I'm feeling a lot of feminine energy in this. And so it means just connect with the feminine, connect with the more empathetic side of yourself, connect with the more intuitive side for yourself, and see this situation and this problem for what it is, whatever you might be facing. See it for what it is, and have empathy towards the other side of the situation. Have empathy towards yourself as well. Have empathy towards what you're going through, and really nurture yourself and come at things from a very high vibrational place. Do some meditations, release old energy so that you can come to this situation with a fresh, clean slate and move on from it. Then we also have mending. And so when I really see the mending card, I really feel like this is about relationships. There's some kind of like partnership maybe that needs to be worked on in order for you to live out your life and continue with your life. There's something probably holding you back that needs to be mended and fixed. It is number 52, and that deals with the number 7. And so this deals with a lot of reflection. It connects with the Hermit card a lot because we do have the 52 number on this card, which is, again, like I said, 7, and it connects with the Hermit with going internal and reflection, and maybe even opening yourself up to more spiritual things and allowing yourself to discover more spiritual things like meditation and practicing like breathing exercises in order to let go of anxiety and let go of maybe anger or anything else building up. Then we have the last card, which is Passion of the Lion Heart. And it's Crystal Goddesses 888. So 8s are all about business and government stuff. It can deal with legal matters, anything like that. But 8s are also really good luck. It's good luck in money or anything like that. So if you guys have a situation where you're needing more money at this time, that's also talking about good luck with that. Like there's good luck on your side. So you don't have to worry so much about money. So don't be worrying about money. Don't be worrying about legal matters. Don't be worrying about anything to deal with 8, which is ruled by Saturn. So just let things kind of go. Just feel at peace. Be comforted that you're being protected, and just go about your passions once this blows over, because I feel like maybe this is blocking your passions right now, and you need to let this go in order to be that like more King of Wands energy again, and to be more yourself again, and to feel like you can fulfill your purpose. So that's what I'm seeing for you, pile number 1. All right, moving on to pile number 2. Let's find out what your ancestors, guides, and angels are trying to tell you at this time. All right, so pile number 2. We have the 2 of Pentacles right here, and also the Tower card, and I feel like these cards are really speaking to each other, because when I look at the 2 of Pentacles, the waves are really standing out to me, and that I feel like you guys are on like a topsy-turvy kind of like roller coaster of life right now, especially when we have the Tower card there as well. I feel like everything, there's times when everything's going great, and then times where everything's going like horribly, and I feel like there's kind of like this repetitive roller coaster kind of happening for you guys right now, and I feel like it's leaving you being like really busy, really topsy-turvy, really like emotionally unstable. You're maybe like 1 minute going like, oh my God, the world is over, and then 1 minute it's just like, everything is absolutely more perfect. It could not get more perfect. The universe feels like it's on my side, and then all of a sudden it's just like this. It's a wave. It's a constant wave that you guys are going through right now. But I feel like it's teaching you something very divine, especially because there's a lot of 2s here. We have the 2 of Pentacles and then the High Priestess, which is number 2 in the Major Arcana. And so there's a lot of connection around the number 2. Number 2 is partnerships. It's planning things. And right now I feel like you're in a planning stage. I feel like things are going abrupt and crazy right now in order for you to come back to a stage of planning. And planning out what you want your future to be like, planning out what you want things to actually do or accomplish. And why the universe brings up abrupt change in our lives sometimes is because we need to learn certain lessons, and then also it might be that we're not on the right path, and the universe is trying to shake us to show us, we need to be in this position right now. And the shakes happen in order for us to learn very important lessons that take us to the next highest place. Without abrupt changes, we don't learn things as deep. We don't learn like the harder things in life that can actually build us very strongly as an individual. So don't be worried if you're going through stuff like this. Just take it as a blessing, because it is a blessing. When we have the High Priestess, there's hidden blessings here. You can see she has the scroll here. This stands for Thoth right here, and that is if you guys know anything about like ancient Egypt or anything, they had their, they worshipped Thoth, who was like the, he's not a god. He's like, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not an angel either, but they worshipped him. he was like I'm going to call him an angel right now. He's not an angel, but I can't find the word in my head. But basically, he's like the angel of knowledge and hidden knowledge, though. And that's why the Thoth is like slightly covered underneath her robe. And so I feel like there's hidden things that you can't see right now that are in the works for you. There's stuff right now happening behind the scenes through all of this in order to help you raise your vibration and get to places that you're trying to go. But they're hidden lessons. So you might not even understand how it's connected in the big picture, but it is. So don't worry. There's hidden knowledge being gained right now. There's hidden lessons that will take you to where you want to go eventually. But right now it's probably going through a bit of a destructive phase right now, changing up your life, eradicating the things that are no longer going to serve you on your path, and bringing in or allowing room for the new things that will put you on the right path to come in. So it's like kind of doing a renovation on a home, and you have to completely gut it. And so right now you're going through the gutting phase, and then it's going to be in the redecorating phase, which is the fun part. But life always, you have to go through the gutting phase before you can redecorate that beautiful home of yours. So just know guys, like you're being divinely watched over, and you don't need to worry about that. The high priestess, there's always like angels involved in this, and just know that there's such a high purpose behind what you're going through right now. Then we also have Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself, others, every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be, which I feel like speaks volumes in this, because unconditional love the situation that you're in, even though it looks destructive right now, especially with the Tower card and with the waves of like the roller coaster and everything. You have to approach the situation with unconditional love the situation that you're going through, and know that there is divine hidden knowledge and purpose behind this situation for you. And that's what your guides, angels, and ancestors are trying to tell you right now, is that this situation is actually so beautiful, whether it looks like a shitty mess or not right now. There's absolute beauty underneath this. Like it says, love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. Because sometimes things look really ugly. If you look into a home that's being gutted and you walk in there and you're just like, this looks horrible. But it's being worked on. It's being gutted because newness, the most amazing, brand new, most beautiful thing is being built. So just know that. That's the message I'm really feeling. I also have the card, Get Grounded, Empaths, Highly Sensitives, Connect with Nature. So this card connects a lot with the High Priestess card right here. So this is about a time of getting connected. If you really need reassurance or anything, I think it's time to meditate, call on your guides and angels and ancestors to let you know what's happening and to guide you at this time, and be sensitive to the messages and the signs that you might be getting, because you might get a sign like that you need to do something, or it's a time for you to wait and just listen. So the High Priestess is always about waiting and listening for the signs, and then acting on those signs and what those signs tell her or him. Then we also have Treasure Island. So I feel like you're building your treasure island right now. Whatever your dreams are that you're wanting to manifest and create, they're being built for you right now. You're literally building Treasure Island. And so you guys do not need to worry about the situation that you guys are going through. You are building whatever you are dreaming. Whatever you've been dreaming about for so long, whatever you've really wanted inside, you're building that. You're creating that. Trust in that. Just trust that the decluttering phase and the gutting phase of your home, as in life, just as a metaphor, is being remodeled to fit your perfect ideal picture. Because, sometimes we love the home that we grew up in, and it's very sentimental to us. So when it's getting destroyed, it hurts emotionally. But if you've always had this dream of living in this grand, beautiful castle, but yet you don't want to let go of, the home that you grew up in, maybe it's not your dream home, but then you have to realize that you have to let go of where you grew up. And this is just a metaphor, just so you guys know. Sometimes you have to let go of that, and the sentimental values maybe in the kitchen and the old dishware that you guys had that might have been cracked and scraped, and the walls that had cracks and scrapes, and the old fridge that didn't want to work anymore. Sometimes it's hard to let go of those things. But once we realize that you've been asking for a castle this whole time, it's like, oh, now I understand why this had to happen. So I hope that makes sense. Then we also have the Revelation card, Crystal Angels 444, Blue Obsidian. And so what this is talking about is there's going to be revelations in this. I feel like you guys are going to have spurts and moments of realizing like, oh, I do need this to happen. This is a beautiful thing. There's going to be a revelation when you guys eventually see that and you guys eventually understand and know that. And the fours are all about foundation and structure. And so maybe your foundation's completely like being broken down right now, but it's only to restructurize it stronger and to have that stable foundation that you guys have always wanted to build your castle on. And so money will start flowing great. It's a great time to start businesses and to start doing things that steady your foundation and build it that solid structure that you've always dreamed of. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys, pile number 2. I hope that helped and made sense for you guys. All right, so pile number 3, let's find out what your guides, angels, and ancestors are trying to tell you at this time. All right, so pile number 3, this is what I'm seeing for you guys. When we start off with the 4 of Cups, I really get the message that your guides, angels, and ancestors are trying to let you know that they're trying to communicate with you. They're trying to send you messages because the Cups can sometimes relay messages. It's mostly the Swords, but the Cups can also be that as well. And I'm really feeling like they're trying to offer you something right now that maybe you're not seeing because you're too focused on the things that might be going wrong right now, or you're too focused on the things in your life that might not make you the most fulfilled, but they're trying to fulfill you. They're trying to offer you something here from the sky, but you're just not looking. So I feel like they're trying to tell you to look out because they're trying to send you messages. They're trying to send you opportunities. They're trying to send you just opportunities in your life to help you with what you're trying to go through. And I feel like they're in the form of messages. I feel like you need to listen to maybe like the lyrics and songs. If you have something stuck in your head, listen to the message of that. If you kind of like hear the same thing kind of repeated, like maybe people start saying the same things where you are, listen to that. If something like randomly pops up and it's really speaking to you, listen to that. It's something that you might be emotionally connected to. The Cups deal with music, but they also deal with our emotions, something we're emotionally like connected to. And so whatever you feel emotionally, if there's something that's speaking out to you, if there's like some kind of saying in a movie that speaks out to you, or just whatever kind of message that you get, maybe there's certain numbers that are just popping up. Listen to those messages, research what that is. Google it if you have to. Google has a lot of answers, but just turn around and start looking for that, because I feel like your guides, angels, and ancestors have been trying to communicate with you, and maybe you just haven't been focused enough to be able to actually see it. Maybe you've been looking in a different direction, and they're just saying to be open to receiving the message. Then we also have the 8 of Cups right here, and so this is talking about leaving a situation, leaving something that you're emotionally connected to behind. I feel like when we have these 2 cards, there's something that you're not letting go of that you need to let go of. With the 4 of Cups, this is, you're focused on these cups right here. Your guides, angels, and ancestors are offering you different things, different opportunities for you, and they're telling you that you need to let go of what you're so attached to and take what they're offering, because they're trying to put you in a better place. What they're offering is going to bring you where you actually want to go. But maybe you're not ready to let go of certain things, but they really want you to know that it's time. It is time to walk away from something that you're emotionally connected to that does not serve you anymore at this time. It is not for you. You know that you've reached the end of the road. You drank all the water in that cup that cup has to offer, and now you need to go seek out a new cup, because you're going to keep sipping on an empty cup, and when you're thirsty and dehydrated, that becomes a problem. So I feel like your guides, angels, and ancestors want you to go and now fill your cup again, but I don't think it's going to be filled in your current situation. You need to go search for a new river. That river has dried out. I'm getting a very strong message behind that, so I hope that correlates with you guys. And then we also have the 9 of Wands here, and this is talking about being prepared. Maybe you've been through a lot, and you just need to know that the universe has your back. The universe is standing there willing to fight with you and for you, and you don't actually need to act on anything. You don't actually need to put up a fight. They will be working behind the scenes fighting for you and sorting the situation out for you. You just need to stand there and be prepared for where life is going to bring you. That is the message I'm getting from this card right now. I feel like it is time to walk away from the situation, but walk away from it with peace and just know that the universe is sorting it out. You just need to wait and listen for the messages and signs and act upon those messages and signs, of course. Don't just sit around just thinking that everything's going to work itself out. Of course, act on the messages and signs that you will get, but wait and listen, and you will know in your heart when it's the right time to act. They're not going to put you in a situation that you feel that you cannot handle. Whatever situations are coming up to you right now, you can handle everything that they're giving you. They're saying that you have everything that you need in order to handle this situation. You've been through so much that all the knowledge you have will get you through this situation. You have everything. Everything is under control. The universe has your back right now. We also have Diana, focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. And so I feel like these are very, very connected because the Nine of Wands deals with a warrior who's been through a lot, who's prepared for the next battle. Diana is talking about focused intention. Keep your eyes on the target. So keep your eyes on where do you want to go, and look at your life. What does not fit with that anymore? What do you need to let go of? Because maybe you're carrying a ball and chain and you're trying to get to your destination, and you have to climb a mountain. You know that ball and chain is going to keep you on the ground, and you need to climb mountains right now. So look at your target that you are wanting, a target as in your goal. What is that goal? And what needs to leave your life in order for you to make that goal happen? What do you need to let go of that you know cannot serve you on your path? And it can be hard, but it's all about focusing on the goal and the bigger picture and your happiness. Then we have the ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So I feel like that's really connected a lot with the Four of Cups, because the Four of Cups can be somebody who might be looking at life from a little bit more of a sad, more depressed kind of state, just because they're looking at the empty cups that they have and not noticing the beautiful cup being offered to them at the time. But that's just because their focus is, what's in front of them and not what's being offered for the future. So just know that life is this ever unfolding rose. It'll keep unfolding and unfolding. We're trying to get to the center, but we have to keep unfolding in order to get to the center. We have to keep going along with it. And just know that it's happening for you, not to you. The universe isn't putting this situation and making it happen to you. It's happening for you because you have a certain goal in mind. You have a certain target that you want to achieve. And so in order to achieve what's on top of the mountain, certain situations, certain parts of this mountain have to crumble in order to reveal the stairway in order for you to get to the top of the mountain. And so just know it's happening for you. All this crumbling, all this what's going on, it's happening for you. It's not happening to you. The mountain isn't crumbling to try to hurt you. It's crumbling in order to reveal that stairway for you to get to your goal at the top. Then we also have the card Orphan. So if you feel like maybe relationships haven't been going that well, or maybe you feel left out, maybe you feel alone, because when we feel orphaned, we feel alone, we feel like nobody is by our side, we feel left out, we feel like put in a corner of a room that nobody else is in. So if you're feeling any of those feelings, feeling alone, it's also associated with the number 5, and 5 is also very strongly associated with major change, lots of change happening. And so if life is a bit of an upheaval and there's been lots of change going on, just know that you're not alone in that change. There's so many other people going through changes like that. There's so many people that have gone through changes like that. We all feel alone once in a while, but it's happening for you, not to you. So just keep reminding yourself of that. All of this stuff is happening for you, not to you. It's leading you to your target. And then we also have, I love this card, She Shall Always Prevail. So with this is the goddess Isis. She shall always prevail. This is so connected to all these 3 cards with the 9 of Wands. And Diana, this is talking about you are a warrior. You're going to prevail. Whatever situation you're going through, that mountain that you have to climb, you're going to prevail. You're going to climb that mountain. You have the warrior strength to get through. And so whether it doesn't always talk about she, so it's the goddess Isis. But even if you're a male, this totally applies to you, and you are an absolute warrior, and you can get through this and get to it, and you have what it takes. You absolutely have what it takes to get to that goal, but just know that everything is happening for you, not to you. So I hope that helps pile number 3. All right, moving on to pile number 4. Let's find out what your ancestors, guides, and angels are trying to tell you at this time. All right, so pile number 4, I feel like you guys are at the beginning of something. You're at the beginning of creating something very amazing, something material though. So whether it's money, whether it's a job, whether it's a business that you're starting, but somehow this is a material thing. It can even be building a house. It can even be, but just something material. So you're trying to do something materially, whether that's gaining money, building a house, starting a business, something to deal with that. So something along the lines of that. It can even be school as well. School is also dealing with the pentacles, but somehow it's starting a new journey, starting a new path. And in that, there promises to be really a lot of success, but it's the beginning stages. You're at the very start, but it promises to have a lot of potential. It promises to have big outcomes, but they're potential big outcomes. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles, and we also have the Hierophant, which is card number 5. So there's 2 5s here. And we also have 5 in the 41 card here, because 41, you add those 2 numbers together, that actually equals a 5 in numerology. So there's a lot of 5 energy here. So this is talking about big changes happening, big things, just going through a lot of change. I feel like every single pile so far has been going through a lot of change, and maybe this is why I really felt like doing this pick a card today, is because I feel like a lot of us are just going through a lot of there's so much change happening in the universe, but I feel like this change is telling you that you need to start to ask for help. You need to ask for help, I think spiritually, because it's beside the Hierophant card. And so I feel like you should actually, start to call on your guides, angels, and ancestors, maybe the archangels as well, to come in at this time and really help you. We have the Ascended Master, Lao Tzu. I actually don't know how to pronounce that, so I will put it somewhere on the screen for you guys to know the spelling of that, but this is descending power. And so I feel like at this time you need to call upon guides, angels, and ancestors, and they will help you and share their power with you, share their energy and their light with you to help you through this time and to help you create this this thing that you're trying to create. I feel like there's something big that you guys have the potential to create, and you can't do it all on your own, because when we have the 5 of Pentacles, this is talking about somebody who tries to do it on their own and almost pushes themselves out of society because they're trying so much to do it on their own, but they really do need help. They're outside of a church, they need to walk into the church, and the next card that we have is literally the Church card. And these are both 5 numerology cards. They're both 5s in the deck. And then we also have this 5. And so this 5 talks about soulmates. I feel like you need to connect with people at this time. So don't push people out. Don't say you can do it all on your own. You need help at this time. You need another person. You might need a group of people. But I also feel like you definitely need the spiritual connection. So maybe it might not even be physical people. It might be something that you're trying to do requires the help of spiritual masters. It requires the help of our ancestors, our guides, our angels, all these people. Maybe you're trying to learn something. Maybe you're trying to start a new beginning, and this new beginning requires a lot of spiritual help, a lot of spiritual energy, spiritual connection. And so start connecting and learning about these types of things. The Hierophant can also be learning something, having some kind of teacher, or having somebody where you can almost connect and channel messages. So it could be channeling messages. It could also be having a physical, real person type of teacher, mentor to help you in something. But it's something to deal with bringing that onto the material level in order for you to manifest materially, in order for you to create the material things that you're wanting to create at this time. And I feel like connecting to the other side is going to bring that to you even more. But there's somehow I feel like there's a big connection to spiritual knowledge here. I'm really getting that for you guys. Then we also have Irene, peace. There's no need to worry. Everything is working out beautifully. And so just know that you are being watched over. Even if you feel left out, if you feel like you're going through a destructive time, I'm getting another message here a lot. So if you feel like you're going through a destructive time where you feel alone, you feel like you've been pushed out, you've been left out, you've been put in a really bad situation. Maybe you feel like you've been put in a very unfavorable situation at this time, but just know you're actually being looked over, you're being watched over, because when I look at the Hierophant card, there's 2 people down here that are looking at the preacher and the preacher's looking at them. And so I feel like you're actually being watched over spiritually. So your guides, angels, and ancestors are watching over you at this time. If you feel like you've been left out, they're actually helping you and giving you everything that you need at this time. If you feel like you are alone and not getting something that you need, they're actually right there beside you or above you, literally looking out for you and making sure that you get everything that you need and that everything will work out beautifully. With the peace card, there's no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. I'm really feeling the message that they're looking after you. They're going to make sure that you are okay and that you get what you need. And it has the potential to grow. You can ask for more help, but if you ask for more help, they will give you more help. They'll be allowed to, if you open up your receiving arms bigger, they're allowed to give you a bigger hug, if that makes sense. So if you're right now like this, they can hug you from the outside, but if you open your arms for them in order to receive really their love and guidance and help, open those arms wide and they will help you widely and you'll feel more comforted by it. So just know, connect spiritually and ask for their help because they're absolutely here for you and they will help you in so many ways in attaining the things that you might need physically at this moment, like money, a new home, a new job, going back to school. If you need guidance on what your life purpose is and what you should be doing, ask for their help because they can guide you at this time. We also have the longing for home, belonging original light workers. So if you feel alone, and you feel like you've been left out, you feel like you are, in a really unfavorable situation, just know you can connect to these original light workers, like all the archangels, and they will come to you. They will help you. You are a light worker yourself, and I think you need to connect spiritually even more. I feel like you can be a really amazing light worker, and you're about to begin that kind of journey where you implement spirituality into what you're doing materially on this world. Then with the 41 soulmates card, since it is another 5, I feel like you need to connect spiritually to the other side. You need to connect spiritually to other people. Maybe you have a soulmate coming into your life at this time who's going to teach you spirituality on a very deep level. You might have somebody literally coming into your life who's going to be a mentor or a teacher to you, which might be very, very beautiful. Then we have the descending power card as our last card, and this is talking about there's power from above, from your higher self being sent down to you right now. There's power and energy and light and just like a whole bunch of energy being sent to you right now for you, in order for you to make it through the situation and get through it without a worry. So you don't actually need to worry about your situation right now. You're being divinely guided, and you can ask for more guidance and more help on this situation. Just know that you can do that. You can open up your arms even wider to receive more information, more knowledge, more energy, and more light into your life at this time. So that is what I'm seeing for you, pile number 4. I hope that helped and made sense to you guys. All right, moving on to pile number 5. Let's find out what your guides, angels, and ancestors have to tell you at this time. All right, pile number 5, we have a funny little pattern happening in these cards at the very beginning. The devil is number 15, which 15 is actually a 6 numerologically, because you had the 1 and the 5, it actually equals a 6. And then we have 7, and then we have 8. So that's a funny little pattern going on right now. So I feel like you guys are going through, you might start noticing patterns. So if you guys notice patterns, definitely follow those. If you find those like numbers that kind of go sequentially, definitely look out for that. It might be something that you guys might be noticing, either if you look at your like car mileage or like your miles or kilometers, or if you look at like receipts or bills, you might notice that happening. But I do want you guys to know that your guides and angels are trying to tell you that you might be going through an internal battle right now. I feel like there might be an internal battle happening where you there could be a lot of different things going on, but with the Devil card, this is always something where either you don't feel good enough, it can be self-limiting beliefs, but they're self-limiting. It doesn't mean they're actually real, it doesn't mean anybody else actually believes them, but they're self-limiting. It can also be addictions to certain things. It can be in toxic relationships. It can be anything along those lines that deal with things that we don't necessarily have to stay in, but we feel like we're stuck in them. We either feel like we're stuck in our minds of self-limiting, self-doubt, self-harm, addictions to substances, addictions to doing certain things, certain habits that we can't break. So it can be habitual, it can be addictive, but there's something going on that's not really healthy. It could be like a relationship, like I said, or an actual situation or an actual thing that we're like attached to. Could be our own self that is harming ourselves. And then we have the Seven of Wands, and this can be having criticism. It could be criticism from the outside world, or it can be internal criticism, but it's time to let that go and let it just fly away. Because with the Eight of Wands happening next, this talks about things just flying. It can also mean travel, but I feel like it's time to just send those sticks away. Like I feel like when I look at this, I just keep picturing this image that the Seven of Wands, he's battling all of these, wands that are coming up at him, that are in front of him, and I feel like it's time to literally just grab all of those wands and just send them away. Just be like, nope, bye. So whatever situation that you guys are in, it can be being too self-critical or addicted to certain things or habits that we know don't serve us. It's time to just like grab all those things and just go fly them out of the door. It's time to just let them go, let them fly, let it go. I also feel like since the Eight of Wands deals with communication as well, I really feel like your guides, angels, and ancestors might be trying to communicate with you at this time. They might be sending you messages. You might notice certain things, and you might notice these things coming at you, certain patterns, especially since we have patterns with numbers, so they might be communicating with you in numbers, or just certain patterns that you will see. Maybe there's certain patterns going on that you're like, oh, well, that just happened the other day, now it's happening today, or that's another coincidence. So certain coincidences happening. Focus on those coincidences. We also have another number 7 with the number 43 with deep knowing. And so I feel like there's a deep knowing in you guys. I feel like you can get this message internally as well. I feel like you guys are psychic enough to almost get these gut instincts on certain things about what you need to do. And I feel like you guys have this really deep knowing on the inside. And then we have the unbound card, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. And so unbind yourself from these things that you're attached to, because the devil always deals with attachments. It's time to just release it. Unbound yourself from certain patterns, addictions, habits, self-harm, whether it's being like thoughts, because thoughts can actually harm ourselves very deeply. But if you guys are going through something like that, it's time to release that stuff. Just you know what it is. You know you have this deep knowing of what's going on. Grab those deep knowings and just send it out the door. Just be like, goodbye, I'm done with that. And approach life from take the high road. Because when I look at the 7, since it's bringing up the 7 with the deep knowing again right here, I feel like it's talking about the number 7, which is reflection. Reflect on yourself. Reflect on you. You have this deep knowing, and it deals with reflection. It deals with opening up your spiritual side, listening to your gut instincts, and reflecting on what's going on, and then taking the higher road and being like, I'm on top of it. You are on top of it. You are in control. The 7 of Wands is a guy who is in control of the situations happening. He's taking control of it, and he gets to decide what he wants to keep and what he wants to send away. And so I feel like your guides, angels, and ancestors are trying to let you know this message right now. And then I also have the card here of individuality. And so when we have individuality, this is, I feel, really talking about you're a unique person. You're somebody who's not like everybody else. You like maybe breaking the rules. You like being a rebel, or you try and want to be an individual, but maybe you have self-limiting beliefs of like, no, I need to stay in, I need to stay consolidated in order to fit in with society. It's time to let that individuality completely shine. Stop limiting yourself. It's time to not limit yourself anymore. So if you limit yourself in the ways of feeling like you can't shine, or feeling like maybe you're a little bit too individualistic and maybe you need to follow the rules of society a little bit more and still be in control of yourself a little bit more. Maybe you're too erratical. You're too radical. That's the word I'm looking for. You're too radical. Or maybe you need to let you have a deep knowing of what it is, but it can go either way. I'm getting both messages in the same pile for some reason. But if you keep yourself locked in too much, it's time to be an individual. Let that individuality completely be exposed and shine, and let it shine. But if you're doing it maybe in an unhealthy way, maybe you're letting it shine too much. But there's really no too much of letting anything shine too much. I love sparkly things. I think more shine the better, but maybe you have to do it in a more healthy way at this time. Maybe you have to do it in a more productive, less destructive way, if that makes sense. So look for ways to make it more productive instead of destructive. So that's the message I'm getting for you, pile number 5. All right, moving on to our last pile, pile number 6. Let's find out what your guides, angels, and ancestors are trying to tell you at this time. All right, so pile number 6. This is what I'm seeing for you guys. I feel like it's a time for you guys to celebrate whatever change you guys are going through. I feel like there's a change happening, but I feel like it's a very exciting change for you guys. And I feel like your guides, angels, and ancestors are completely cheering you on, because we have the 3 of Cups here, which I feel like they're all celebrating for you. They're all very excited for you. The Death card always means change and transformation, but I feel like it's a very good change and transformation, especially when the outcome is the 6 of Wands, which is them praising you. They're celebrating you. They're seeing you on this horse. So whether you see this change as good or bad, they're celebrating for you because they're telling you this is a very positive change. So maybe you see it as a positive change, but if you don't, if you feel like this change has been hard, just know that they're celebrating you, and there's very good things in this change that are coming that are very exciting, and there's going to be such positive things happening for you in your life. We also have the Sorceress. You're a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. And so whatever your intentions are, whatever you're wanting to do, this change that you're going through, it's time to manifest those desires and those dreams. I feel like your manifesting power is very high right now, especially since there's so many celebratory cards. I feel like you guys are at the top of the top right now, and it's time to manifest whatever you guys are wanting. So use that manifesting power. If you guys are connected a lot to any sort of magical stuff at this time, or looking into any of the more occult things, because when I see the Death card, I feel like this is kind of like occult knowledge. I feel like you might be learning it from certain people. There might be certain people bringing it up when you're at social events, and you just feel like, oh, I know a little bit about this. Maybe you haven't completely opened up about it, but I feel like there's something in you that, you know, you're a little magical sorceress or something, or maybe you're really interested into it and want to know a little bit more about it, but you're a very magical person, and I feel like diving into this a little bit more can really be so good for you, especially with the Death card, because that's ruled by Scorpio, and it deals with uncovering hidden knowledges and the occult and things that people don't really like to talk about very much, but I feel like there's a lot of magic within that. I feel like you're a very magical person who knows how to handle themselves in it, and if you don't know how to handle yourself, I feel like the universe just has your back and will show you the knowledge that you need when you need it. So I don't think you need to worry too much about that, but I feel like whatever change you're going through, whatever you're trying to manifest is going to manifest. You're going to be very successful at what you do, but I feel like there's somehow this spiritual kind of underlying in it. And then we also have Answer the Call. What is your soul calling you to do? I feel like that you just have this soul calling, and it's calling you towards maybe learning a bit more about the law of attraction, a bit more about manifestation, maybe a bit more about transformations, maybe a bit about dreams and how to interpret them. Getting a ton of different messages right now, but maybe you also have a thing where you can communicate with the other side, because with the Death card, there's always talks about, even people that have crossed over. Maybe you get messages, maybe you're very intuitive to certain messages from the other side, and so you can really answer that call. But whatever your soul is calling you to do, even if it's not something that's spiritual, maybe your soul's calling you to do something that is very in the public, because when we have the 3 of Cups with people celebrating and the 6 of Wands, this can be something that's very public. So if you're trying to do something maybe on social media, if you're trying to do something creative and spread it to a lot of people and have your message heard, I feel like now is a time to act on whatever your soul calls you to do. If you get called to make a certain post or talk about a certain subject while you're at maybe an event or a party, or make a video and put it on YouTube, but whatever it is, somehow you're sharing it to the public, whether that just be a small group of people or even a large group of people. It can go both ways with those two cards, but I feel like there's something that your soul's really calling you to do, and there's a message that needs to be heard. There's a message that needs to be shared that you really feel strongly about. But I feel like the other side's kind of like encouraging you to share this message. I feel like you do have a very important message, and you might be inclined to learn some more things as well and dive deeper into it. But I feel like you know quite a bit already that you have a message that needs to be shared. So we also have the To Be Fair card, which is the balance card. This reminds me of the Libra symbol because of the scales or whatever, but it doesn't mean that you guys have to be a Libra in order to associate with this pile at all. But this does talk about being fair. So I feel like with great success, there may be a lot of change and a lot of challenges that you might have had to overcome, especially with the Death card with change. And so transitions might be difficult, but to be fair, there's a really bright light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe it's a really dark tunnel, but there's a really bright light. So it's always the yin and yang. There's always a balance. But I feel like there's this message that just needs to be heard, and maybe it's because of experiences that you've gone through in the past, but there's beauty in it. There's beauty in everything that you've gone through. There's the light to all the darkness, and that light illuminates everything. If you turn on a light in a dark closet, you illuminate everything that's there. And so I feel like you guys are a very bright light, and you're about to shine, and you can shine that light onto the occult, hidden things, the hidden knowledges that are out there, and really shine a light onto things that might not be known, especially when I see the Death card there as well. Then I also have the Read the Energy card, Ascended Master Merlin. And so I feel like you guys are a little bit like wizard sorceress kind of energy, because with the Ascended Master Merlin being a wizard and then the sorceress card, with these two cards, I really feel like you guys have this like magical power and this occult desire to learn more about that kind of stuff, or maybe just dive deeper into it or share it with the world, share it publicly. I feel like there's something in there that your guides are like cheering you on, your ancestors and your angels are just like, yes, do this. This is you. This is your purpose. This is what you need to do. Might not be your life purpose. It might be as well. Whatever you're drawn to, maybe there's a small message you guys need to share, but maybe there's a big message. And I feel like I'm getting more big message vibes from you guys. But read the energy. I feel like you guys are good at reading the energy. I feel like there's some psychic powers that you guys have, and some like hidden depths that maybe not a lot of people see, and they're just confirming it for you that you do have this power, you do have this ability, and they want you to explore it more and share it. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Pile number 6, definitely read into those energies that you're receiving, the messages that you're getting, because I think they're really, really important. And just act on the energies that you are feeling in the moment. So that is all for today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and being here. I will say that I'm updating my crystal shop with more crystals this weekend, so be on the lookout for a new shop update this weekend with tons of more crystals and tons of more stuff for you guys. It's going to be super, super exciting, and I thank you guys so much for being here with me on this journey. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you loved this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Leave me a comment down below if you guys want to say hi. I love reading your guys' comments, and click that subscribe button if you guys want to see more videos like this. I post multiple times a week, and hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss a video, because sometimes YouTube doesn't like to notify people of new videos. So if you guys want to be notified and never miss a video, definitely click that little bell to be notified every time I upload, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.